Monday morning in Manhattan. The city was picking up where it left off on Friday. I was trying to remember back that far. Another day in the promised land, and the pot of gold was still at the end of the rainbow. Now all I had to do was find the rainbow. But happily, this was America, the land of opportunity.
Pastrami?
Is there anything else I can get for you, Mr. Hammer?
Maybe later. Velda, you want a pastrami?
Any idea where I'd put it?
You got a point. Sorry, no sale.
That's okay. I usually do better with the men anyway. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Smart girl.
Yeah. You got to admire her business acumen, too.
I thought you were going to quit smoking.
It's a dying art. Well, look who's here.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Malcolm.
How you doing, buddy?
Velda, Malcolm Dobbs. Country and Western's answer to Legionnaire's disease.
Oh, Mama, darling, baby. How are you, pretty? It's a brand new outfit for you. Yeah, come here. Excuse me. What can I do for you? I got myself in the biggest poker game in New York. Yeah. Sprague Building? Mm-hmm. It's a 50K buy-in. I might be the favorite. Need a little backup.
What do you mean, protection?
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm, come on. The sign says private investigator. You know that. I'm not in that racket.
What, you mean for 5C you don't want to babysit me, sit around and watch a good poker game?
Don't miss lunch, Malcolm. It starts in 3 hours.
I have a feeling the down payment for the computer I wanted just walked out the door.
Velda, I don't like computers.
Mike, a computer could bring some order to this office. Into your life.
I can't think of a better reason for not having one.
Buy yourself a co-op for that, partner.
Angela, you've done all you can.
Pat.
I'll talk to you later. Run.
How you doing?
Good evening.
Malcolm Dobbs.
Okay, you're on the list.
Good evening, sir.
How you doing tonight?
This is Captain Pat Chambers. Who's the field supervisor? Tom Phillips. Tell him that the drug deal is going down in the penthouse at the Sprague Building.
Martin Sprague, Malcolm. Glad you could come.
How you doing? That's quite a spread you got here, Martin. You can run a herd of cows through here, couldn't you? Security tighter than a pair of press shorts.
Bedrick Bordante and Tallahassee Smith.
What's your name?
Smith.
Smith.
May I offer you a drink?
Well, if anybody knew how to make a gin Ricky, you could.
I do.
Eve Warwick. Malcolm Dobbs.
One gin Ricky.
Good evening, ma'am. Well, I guess you certainly do have everything here, don't you?
Keys, LBs, and Zs wholesale. Everything else, Keystone. Better than 90.
Quite pure.
Oh, it'll take a 175 melt point and go pure through a benzene burn.
I'll take the key.
Good.
Fella, I'll take a nosy off of that.
Oh, and keep play.
How's that?
Do just fine.
How sad.
That's even better. Oh, best grade ether. A little goes a long way.
You done with your yard sale, Mr. Smith? We'd like to play some cards. Table stakes. Pot limit. 25,000 buy-in. Anytime there's less than 5 in front of you, you can buy more chips. Draw for deal.
No. Called over an hour ago. Where is he? I know you said Phillips is en route, but he's not here.
Couple of dimes.
20,000 blind.
I'm exuding confidence, Martin.
20. I think I'll exude some confidence of my own. You're 20? Up 20 more, put you all in.
I'm exuding acute depression.
I'm glad I'm out of this mess. I know everybody's exuding something.
Aces.
Kings over trays, full, huh?
Good evening. You are being robbed. Put your hands on the table and remain very, very still. There is no need to fear for your safety if you follow instructions. I will repeat what I just said. There is no need to fear for your safety if you follow instructions. Keep your hands on the table and remain very, very still.
Hey, that ring's important to me. It's a good luck charm from an old friend. Give me that ring!
You said there'd be no killing.
The guards downstairs will not be killed if you stay exactly where you are for 30 minutes. I will repeat what I just said. The guards downstairs will not...
Pat Chambers?
Yep. Who are you?
I'm Phillips, Drug Enforcement Agency. Chambers called and wanted to meet me here. Who are you?
Assistant D.A. Barrington. You're a little late.
Chambers is hurt bad. I'm going with him.
Stick around. We got a lot of questions we'd like to ask.
So do we.
Yeah. Linda? Yeah, wait a minute. Just hold on. Calm down. Where are you? I'll be right there. Damn it.
How is he?
I don't know. I'm with him.
The bullet is dangerously close to the spinal cord. We have to operate immediately.
He was shot in the back?
Yeah. Without complications, he could be out of here in a couple of days. But if it hit the spinal cord, there could be total paralysis.
Paralysis. Mike. Oh.
How you doing, buddy?
Nothing much, my back. Just like a rookie.
Mike, take it easy now. Don't talk.
The dope deal. High stakes poker game. Dope deal. Sprague building.
I stopped by the Sprague building. It was crawling with cops, DA types, and feds all getting in each other's way, so I moved on. When somebody as big as Martin Sprague gets wiped out, the city doesn't sleep till it finds the reason why. I thought a certain country singer and I should have a polite chat.
How was the poker game, Malcolm?
Oh, Michael. Oh, I got some other ideas. I never did go.
Never did go, huh? You're a hillbilly liar, Malcolm!
I cut it out. I'm scared to death to hide. Well, you must have me confused with somebody who cares, Malcolm, because I don't. Now watch this. You see this? When the time knot hits the ground, you better start talking. You're going to be right behind it. How much did you lose? A little over 50. What about Tallahassee? Trying to stop him?
He got ticked off and took a big diamond ring off his finger.
What about the guy that bought the cocaine? Mordante?
I don't know. He's some kind of an art dealer. That's all I know about him.
You better not be lying, Malcolm. Because if you are, you're going to have to nail that window shut. Here, buy yourself a new hat.
I hope you're looking for me.
Fortunately, I'm not.
That's too bad. We'd make an interesting trio.
Oh, really? I'll make a note.
Pat made the doctors earn their fees. 6 hours on the table, but they got the slug. The next 3 hours would make the difference. It was payback time, and a .45 caliber was the only currency I had.
Mr. Kramer, please call
Angela, what are you doing here?
I heard on the radio. I tried to get in and see Pat, and they won't let me in.
Yeah, I know. He had a pretty rough night.
Mike, I felt so bad.
Hey, don't worry about a thing. He's pretty thick-skinned. He's going to be okay. It's just going to be a matter of time, that's all.
Mr. Kramer, please call admittance extension 1118. Mr. Kramer, call 1118.
Assistant District Attorney Barrington. There were times he reminded me of a weasel. Every time I saw him.
What's going on here?
Whatever's going on is none of your business.
Oh, tough talk.
Don't press your luck, Hammer.
Tom Phillips, Drug Enforcement Agency.
Mike Hammer. What's the DEA got to do with this?
An important citizen was murdered, Pat Chambers violated departmental procedures, and there are some unanswered questions.
What procedure? What questions?
Take it up with Internal Affairs. See how far you can get with them.
Why did you call the DEA?
Well, you remember the teller we had as a witness to Delancey Street bank robbery?
Yeah, Angela Sereno. She was here just now.
Well, I was doing her a favor.
A favor?
Yeah, her boyfriend's a dock worker. He was scooped up in a federal raid along with 4 or 5 others, unloading a tub full of Colombian. Her boyfriend, Frank Dolce, overheard a jailhouse rumor that the feds missed a load of cocaine stashed in a secret place on the boat. A big piece of that cocaine was supposed to be sold off at the poker game.
So Dolce has Angela go to you to make a deal with the DEA, right?
Yeah.
Well, what did you do that was so wrong?
Nothing, except the NYPD lost a bust. But now the DA has a scapegoat. Pat's career is on the line. Angela Sorrento was working as a guide at the Statue of Liberty. Like most New Yorkers, I'd never been to visit the lady with the torch. To help her boyfriend, Frank Dolce, who was in jail, Angela had tipped Pat to a certain classy dope deal poker game, which almost finished off Pat, the way it finished off Martin Sprague. Angela was a sweet kid. She'd made a few left turns when she should have turned right. But Pat and I tried to give her a hand whenever we could. Now she could repay the favor. Angela was the key to clearing Pat. The DA's office would be slow in working up much interest about Angela's murder. There would be no headlines, no forensics, no leads. The good lady took the tired, poor, and huddled masses, but in this case, she didn't give them back. Angela's boyfriend was a federal prisoner at the Tombs, which meant I wasn't on his visiting list. I'd been flung back into the deep, cold well called Square One. Square Two was the Sprague penthouse.
Poker. And cocaine.
Well, Pat was right on both counts. Blow and dough.
If only I'd gotten here 10 minutes earlier.
Barrington deliver any witnesses?
I'm only looking at the drug end, but I don't think so. You?
Pat's only alibi turned up dead. And I still haven't been able to get to her boyfriend.
That's because he's none of your business, Hammer. I talked to him. He's a punk. First time, way too far down the ladder to know anything about penthouse dope deals. And you can tell Captain Chambers that Frank Dolce denied using his girlfriend for anything. He also denied any knowledge of a robbery plan for the Sprague building.
And of course you believed him.
I think the possibility existed Captain Chambers called DEA too late on purpose, yeah.
Oh, stupid, Barrington. Anybody ever tell you dumb is forever?
Is that right? My people found this in a city car parked across the street. Captain Chambers' car, as a matter of fact.
All right, Barrington. We all know you're never wrong. It's just that this time you're a little weak on being right. Frames like this went out with horn-rimmed glasses. There was enough bull in that room to father a herd. I really didn't expect any answers on the roof. Just some fresh air.
How's it going?
Already talked to the police. Said nothing then, nothing now.
Hey, I'm not the man.
Oh, one look tell me that.
Smoke? I'm trying to quit, but today's not the day.
You think this is World War II and I'm being liberated? Take a hike, sir.
I'm Mike Hammer.
Leroy Applebaum, the third.
You know, Leroy, I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how they got up here. I mean, there's alarms on every floor, motion detectors, infrared, security elevators.
No place for a helicopter to set down?
The cops lay that on you?
Ain't too smart, is they?
I bet you're smarter.
And them tracks there, see them?
Yeah, for your platform, right?
If a body
with the right kind of know-how, had 2 of these. He could slip them inside them tracks and climb right up the side of this building like a spider.
Think that's how it was done?
I know that's how it was done. Found it by the roof door this morning. Got no other idea where it might have come from. Do you?
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than smart. Leroy Applebaum III had given me a hot lead, but that particular climber's cam was one of 10,000 manufactured by an outfit in Hackensack, New Jersey. With that much leg work, there's no better legs than my secretary, Velda. Yeah, hello, Velda.
Hello, Mike. Glad to know.
I got the climber's cam traced to a retailer on the corner of 5th Avenue and 16th Street. They bought 2,000 of the 10,000 cams that were produced.
Yours was one of them.
That's why you get the big bucks.
Sorry, sweetie. No pastrami today.
Sometimes you get pretty carried away when you find a parking place in New York. Pat was going to make it out of the hospital. Now I had to see to it that he stayed out of prison. My favorite parking ticket had had it.
It's all right, I'm in full control. Can I help you?
Maybe. I see you're into climbing.
All kinds.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My name's Mike Hammer. I'm a private investigator. This was sold right here in your store. I'm interested in finding out who bought it.
Oh, well, that's kind of difficult, unless you have a good reason for me to dig through 10,000 sales receipts.
Yeah, I got 2. A friend of mine took a bullet in the back, and a nice young girl about your age is taking up space in the morgue.
That's plenty good. I'll check it out.
Thanks. Sandy, huh?
Yeah.
You're okay.
I'm a lot better than just okay.
Yeah, you are.
Next on my list was Beatric Bordante, the guy who bought drugs and sold art. He had an address uptown, where even the garbage men wore designer jeans. I guess the pictures in that gallery were pretty good. I wouldn't know. The only thing I did know about those paintings, they'd be good for covering up bullet holes in your wall.
Are you interested in imported art, good canvas, or frames?
Up to now, my idea of imported art was German beer.
I'm Eve Warwick.
Mike Hammer. Well, you certainly have style, I'll say that for you. But then again, what kind of style shacks up with a guy who skips out on her and then leaves her holding the bag?
You probably haven't been mistaken for Dale Carnegie all day.
Doesn't it bother you just a little bit to be running this kind of scam on people?
Oh, yes. But I take something for it.
Oh, what's that?
Money.
Huh. Listen, how about answering a couple of questions and maybe saving the life of an honest cop?
I have no answers. Those heisters knew their way around that penthouse as if they lived there all their lives.
Like one of the players could have tipped him off. Could have been you.
Okay. If that's how you feel about it, don't expect any more cooperation from me.
Honey, I never expect anything, and I still get disappointed. It's a shame. We were just beginning to warm up to each other.
Hammer. You know where Tallahassee is staying?
Why?
Bordante was playing with $40,000 of my money. I'd like to tag along.
Sorry. Passengers don't help my gas mileage, or my disposition for that matter.
I understand. On the other hand, I have the address. You don't.
You okay?
Yeah.
Friends of yours? And just the effect you have on people.
Makes you so sure they were shooting at me.
Their aim.
Can I help you?
No thanks, honey. I think I'll just help myself.
That's too bad. I think you're my chromosome type.
I'll make a note.
You could bring new meaning to the term private investigator.
Well, it's a tough job. Somebody...
Spare me that, please.
Nitro Stark, 250 pounds of blood clot and scar tissue. He had a 72-inch chest and an IQ to match.
What are you coming in here like the man from Glad for, Hammer?
Eve, meet Nitro Stark. Living proof that man hasn't been out of the trees too long.
I ain't had my workout today, Hammer. Go clog a drain.
I'm not so sure you had to get quite so physical.
If he had a brain, I'd have thought him to death. Tallahassee. Name's Mike Hammer. I got a couple questions for you.
Why not? You got through the qualifying round. How are you, Eve?
Fine. You carry Hef very well, Tallahassee. Very well indeed.
Well, like they say, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? Somebody said that Captain Chambers is a friend of yours, Hammer.
Right.
Too bad. I haven't liked him from the last movie.
You sound like a man who doesn't mind losing a lot of cash and drugs.
I didn't say that. Some of those items were near and dear to me, particularly a ring I lost. My one good luck charm. Anyone like to join me for lunch? We got imported yogurt. Pina colada, cinnamon nuts.
You got any Tutti Frutti?
No.
You know, if you were to tell me a little bit more about that robbery, I just might get your ring back for you.
Little punk was strong. Had a grip like a wrench.
What kind of weapons?
Both had automatics.
Any idea on how they knew where the game was?
Someone fingered it. Bordani was just here talking about that. He wants us to pool our resources and hire a PI we can trust. If you weren't so close to Chambers, we'd take your application under consideration.
You think you can trust Bordante?
No. Then he can't trust me, can he? By the way, what's all this to you?
Nothing.
Hey, Hammer. You don't mind if I have you followed, do you?
Yes.
Goodbye, Hammer.
Well, thanks a lot.
Got anything on Bordante?
For one, he doesn't smoke.
I'm cutting down. What else?
He has no driver's license, no employment record, and no credit cards.
Huh.
But according to the tax assessor's office, he sold $5 million worth of art in New York City last year. Not bad for a guy who doesn't exist.
Well, that checks out with what Eve Warwick said.
Oh, how nice. I spent all day on this. What else does she have to say?
Well, according to her, he's not an American. He's Basque, lives in the West Indies, probably where he met Tallahassee.
Okay, now we both know what Eve said. What does Mike Hammer say?
Mike Hammer says that these belong to Bordante. Take a look at them. They're prescription, expensive, very unusual design. I want you to check them out.
Okay. I'll get the gumball machine fixed.
No, forget it. All these guys know how to fix today's electronic video games. I don't want them to ruin my gumball machine. What else is happening?
Oh, your source at the court clerk's office called. The DA just came out of criminal court with an arrest warrant for Pat.
An arrest warrant for Pat? Why didn't you tell me? I'll see you later.
The case of criminal
Dr.
conduct
Morrison,
involving
Judith
public
Morrison,
officials.
please call the fourth floor waiting room as soon as possible.
We'll be adding more to that as time goes on.
What the hell is going on here?
Mike, the DA asked my office to do the lab tests. It doesn't.
Tests? What kind of tests?
On the cocaine found in Angelo Sorrento's apartment.
Hey, please, do you mind? Wait a minute, we're trying to get the story.
One pound, 90% pure, an exact chemical match to the cocaine found in Captain Chambers' car, and the residue at the poker game. Now you tell me, what is Captain Chambers' contact doing with cocaine from the heist?
It's a paint job, and you know it.
Criminal conduct involving a public official. Right now the charge is illegal possession. I'm sure we'll be adding conspiracy, murder, and obstruction of justice as time goes on.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna arrest him right here in front of his whole family, in front of all the press?
Hey, Hammer, I don't like it. I've got a job to do, and I don't need your interference.
Now I know why you're so thin, Barrington. You got no heart. Pat, I want you to think. Now listen. I gotta know everything. Was there anything more that Angela said that might shed light on the situation?
You got it all, Mike. Everything I know. Listen, don't be busting any heads. Don't want to give Barrington the hives.
Thanks, Mike.
Bobby, listen. Whatever you see, whatever you hear out there, it isn't true. Your dad is the best. Right?
Right.
Go get him, Tiger.
The wheels of the system were grinding up my best friend. I wasn't about to let my best friend get ground up. I called Velda. She said she had a female mountain climber in the office wanting to join the firm. If Sandy could hook a name on the guy who ordered the climbing device, I'd let her nail the bozo who was tailing me. But on the other hand, why should she have all the fun?
Anything?
Mike! Look, I was the one who took the order. His name is Davy Agate. He bought 4 cams, rope, backpacks, the whole enchilada.
Was he alone?
Well, Davy placed the order, but some other guy I'd never seen before picked it up.
Where do we find this Davy Agate?
In Hackensack. He works for the township teaching climbing and rescue.
Great. Val, get Eve Warwick on the phone. Tell her Sandy will be by in 20 minutes to pick her up. I want her to make a voice ID.
All right.
Come on, kid. You're on your first case.
With you?
You don't see anybody else, do you? Okay, her name's Eve Warwick. Pick her up and be back here in 5 minutes, okay?
You have to make a secret contact first?
Something like that, yeah.
must be losing it.
Your hands are strictly for balance.
That's him, Davy Agate, expert climber. The stairs are inside. I'll warm him up. I'm coming up, Davy!
Okay. Climb when ready.
Coming up!
You're looking good, real smooth.
Oh, this is terrific!
Not too bad. That's good. You're almost there. A little farther.
Thanks.
Bit of a show-off, by the way.
Oh, I just thought I'd see if I could beat the private investigator up here.
Who?
Me, Davy. Got a couple questions for you. About this. It was picked up at the Sprague robbery and traced to you.
What? Well, they were gonna have me deported.
Oh, shoot. That was too easy. I was really ready to grill him. See you at the bottom.
Deported? To Scotland?
I'm confused. I should talk to a lawyer.
You should talk to a brain surgeon about a transplant. Deported to Scotland? She remembers your voice, laddie.
Well, they promised no killing. I told them I wanted no part of killing.
Who's they? Davy, with evidence this deep, you're in for a minimum of 30 years. Unless you plea bargain.
I'm out at that. I didn't hurt anybody. I'll be telling you the whole story when I get down. I'll meet you at the bottom. I just want to get my class off the side of the building. Watch out below, I'm coming down. Look out!
Teddy, no!
Sam, I got a good look at him.
What about the license number?
It was raining dead bodies with no let-up in sight. But I didn't need an umbrella. I needed answers.
No, no. You are going to lose your
Come on.
Hi. How you doing, Mike?
You
want the same thing?
Wait a minute, we're gonna sell this place. Straighten this guy out. Tell him something for me with this guy. He knows everything, this guy. Tell him. That's all.
Tatsula. Tatsula.
Tatsula.
Look, Sadaharu has 803 lifetime home runs to lead the world. Sorry, this gentleman is correct.
Answer.
Question. Who holds the record for the most games won as a relief pitcher?
You got me.
Elroy Face, a record of 18-1 for the Pittsburgh Pirates, 1959.
Answer, you amaze even me.
Even myself.
Question.
Answer.
Any news about hot ice from the Sprague robbery floating around town?
Well, word has it that the big fella from the south lost something that you might pick up at the Diamond Exchange down on Canal Street.
Canal Street?
Mm-hmm.
You got all the answers, Answer. I followed my nose and Ozzy the Answer's tip down to Canal Street. Some days it smelled just like its name. A rather talkative fellow I knew helped me get it narrowed down. It didn't take me long to find what I was looking for. Now that I had Tallahassee's ring, his lucky ring, maybe it could bring me some luck. Maybe I could find out why Angela was so unlucky and why Pat's luck was running out. I checked back with Velda. Somebody had sprung Angela's boyfriend, Frank Dolce, from the slam. So much for the help he might have been. I told Velda to run down everything she could on the people arrested with Dolce when the boatload of dope was seized. I had an idea where to find Dolce, but I didn't want company. Better watch out for the alligators, Nitro. New York drivers could be dangerous. It was a good thing Nitro had his seatbelt on. Angela Sereno had lived on the Lower East Side in a neighborhood where every day was D-Day. It didn't have a daycare center, so the local kids played on the street.
Don't even think about it.
See? You thought about it. This was a security building. Until the dog food ran out. Then all bets were off.
You're a detective, ain't you? Bet you're working with Captain Chambers on that Angela murder case, huh? Well, it wouldn't have happened if she'd have had dogs like Spike. Mm-hmm. Ain't that right, baby? Yeah, you wouldn't let nothing happen to me, would you? No, I know that. Caught his first burglar last year. Chewed him up good. Word got out fast. Now, I bet you I got the safest building on the block.
I believe it.
Yeah, well, you ought to tell that to Captain Chambers. Then he wouldn't have to be giving away his money. Buy him a dog instead, that's what I say.
Who was giving out money?
Captain Chambers. He gave Angela $500.
How do you know?
'Cause I saw his personal check made out to her. She signed it over to me to pay the rent. Baby.
Well, I can tell you something. We're getting nowhere fast. Come on, man. I didn't just get off the boat. I'm sick and tired of you lying to me.
Mike, I don't know how much longer I can keep it together.
Well, you might start by leveling with me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. Angela was destitute. Her guy job was only 3 weeks old, and her jerk boyfriend was in the slam.
So you just helped her pay the rent, huh? Something you routinely do on your civil servant salary?
Not what you think, Mike.
Does Linda know about this?
Oh, God. Why do you think I was such a clam in the hospital? Linda would never understand.
Were you sleeping with her?
Giving it to you straight, Mike. The 500 was to help Angela through a tough period. No strings, no favors, nothing.
All right. I believe you. But we can't afford any more surprises, Pat. I mean, Barrington has got that check. He's going to use it in court.
but I never did.
I believe you. Listen, if I were you, I would tell Linda about that check. Listen, tell her what you did, not what you thought. By the time I got to the hearing, Barrington had already worked over Eve. She thought she was going to help Pat by telling what happened at the climbing class. But Barrington had built a pyramid of circumstantial evidence that her testimony couldn't dent. He was on a roll. The only thing Barrington loved more than talking was listening to himself, but he sure didn't love listening to Pat's lawyer.
And in the 15 years that you've known him, have you ever seen or heard of Captain Chambers doing anything that could be considered unlawful?
No, never. And that's 18 years. Pat Chambers and I were in Vietnam together. He received the Distinguished Service Cross.
Your witness?
It's very effective, Mr. Hammer. Now, you don't remember that Captain Chambers was offered a bribe by one Patrick Donat, August 31, 1975? Well-known syndicate figure?
Yeah, I remember. As I recall, Pat Chambers washed Mr. Donat's face in a plate of noodles Romanoff.
Captain Chambers had other offers, including one from Tallahassee Smith shortly after that. 6 months later, he submitted papers for an early retirement. You aware of that?
I was aware of that. Pat Chambers was going through what we commonly call a 10-year burnout.
You want to explain that?
I'd be happy to. See, the more effective you are in police work, the more arrests you make. After about a 10-year period, you begin to look at the hundreds of hardcore felons you put behind bars, and you suddenly see them loose in society because of some judicial technicality, whether it be inadmissible evidence or temporary insanity. And you see crimes, vicious crimes, punishable by death, reduced to 6 weeks for good behavior. You begin to wonder if it isn't the American justice system that has temporary insanity.
We were talking about Captain Chambers, Mr. Hammer. You want to get off the soapbox?
I remember Captain Chambers asking me, why should we risk our lives? If the DAs don't care and the judge doesn't care, why should we go out and get shot at?
Is this a direct quote, Mr. Hammer?
That's exactly what I said.
Go on, Mr. Barrington.
In any event, Captain Chambers chose not to retire. Why? Maybe because retirement wouldn't be as lucrative?
No. He said somebody has to do the job. Somebody has to care. Look what it's got him.
No more questions.
Yeah, well, I've got one for you, Barrington. You just love prosecuting, don't you? You don't care that Pat Chambers is one of the best cops you ever had on the force? You're prosecuting an Eagle Scout.
Out of order. I can hold you in contempt.
Sorry, Your Honor. I plead temporary sanity.
Pat was dealt from the bottom of the deck, and the stakes of the game were the highest he'd ever played.
After careful deliberation, I've decided that there is sufficient prima facie evidence on the cocaine possession charge to bind the defendant over for trial in the General Supreme Court sessions. Bail will remain as posted. Trial date is set for October 3rd. Yes. Well, there's been a cancellation on the docket. Your new trial date is therefore moved to September 2nd.
Objection, that's only 3 weeks.
Objection overruled.
With 3 weeks and no new evidence, Pat Chambers was looking at a long stretch behind bars. Something had to be done, and I knew I had to do it. But what?
Well, they bound him over for trial in 3 weeks. I just can't believe it. Barrington's doing everything he can to send him away.
Mike, I tracked down those galleries. Bedrick Bordante.
What about those mug photos on Frank Dolce and the others he was arrested with?
The arrest reports are federal. I couldn't even get close.
All right, I'll get it from the NYPD. What about those prescription glasses?
75 gold inlay frames remain that design. I have a list of optometrists who sold them in New York.
Well, get on it. We've got to get to Bordante.
Bordante is expected at one of the art galleries you told me to call.
Well, why did you tell me? What are we playing, 20 questions?
No, we're measuring your hostility index.
Where's the gallery?
It's on Park Avenue. I'll drive.
Well, then what in the world would I do without you? This is it. Try and park around back.
Oh, don't! Get back! Oh, get down! Get down! Oh, no, just watch it! Oh!
Sit!
Thanks, mister.
Yours?
Saved my job. I'd like to find a way to thank you.
I'm sure if we put our minds together, we could come up with something.
I'd like to put our minds together. What's your name?
Mike?
Mine's Bonnie.
Bonnie, huh? I'll make a note.
Angela was dead. Pat was coming to trial in 3 weeks. All I could do was look for someone called Bordante. I didn't know what he looked like, and in these surroundings, you couldn't tell a crook by his cover.
Mr. Bordante, telephone. Telephone, Mr. Bordante.